Welcome back, guys, for another Gamebug review, this time for Spider-Man on the PS4. What an amazing game. I'm going to start off the review just like that. As you've probably read and seen and watched and done all of the above, maybe even played it yourself, you'll know that it's getting rave reviews, and it's getting them deservedly so. So let's jump right in. So obviously I'm not going to spoil the story because that's actually the main part of the game. What I will say is it's a very well-crafted story, and probably one of the best Spider-Man stories that I've seen in a long time, whether it's in, a show like in the old cartoons or in any of the movies. It's got all the villains that you would expect. I won't say all of them that you would expect. So, but there's some nice surprises in there. Most of them you've probably seen on the trailers. So I won't jump into that because I don't really want to spoil anything, and it's really hard to talk about it without it. But, I will say that there's Mr. Negative, who you've seen in trailers. You've probably seen, like, Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, and Electro. And there's Mary Jane, Miles Morales. So, there's Aunt May. There's the general cast of characters in there, plus more. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it's a fantastic story. It's got everything. You'll go through the highs and lows. You'll be upset. You'll be happy. You'll be laughing. It's got everything. So I'll stop talking about that now. But yeah, it's a fantastic story. Moving on to the graphics. Holy damn shit. Sorry about the swearing, but oh my god, it looks fan-friggin-tastic. Visuals are just top-notch. The different types of day. So it doesn't have a day-night cycle, but certain missions will be in certain times of the day. And that afternoon setting, with the sun coming down and the sky's that purpley, bluish color, looks fantastic. Great HDR effects on the PS4 Pro. Everything looks crisp on a 4K display if you're playing on the Pro, which I did. And just the amount of detail that went into character models and the environments. Some of the buildings you can look in and there's like little apartments that look like they're fully furnished. It's just amazing top to bottom. Everything looks slick, crisp. Nothing I can fault it on. Like absolutely... like top of the mill graphics, absolutely great. And so visually there's nothing I can flaw. Like I didn't really notice any frame rate hitches or any real jaggies or anything like that. Really nothing that sort of dropped me out of the experience. I think I saw one person sort of walking through the sidewalk, their torso, so they're glitched in, but there was probably like one or two of those in my whole like 30-hour playthrough. It's pretty damn amazing, So moving on to the gameplay. Gameplay is very much like the Spider-Man games that you've probably played in the past. Swinging takes influence off Spider-Man 2 back on the PS2 days. And the difference between that and the previous Spider-Mans was the difference of being actually able to swing based on, for example, if there's a building next to you, he'll attach to the building. But if you're up high enough that there's nothing to actually physically shoot your web onto, you won't be able to attach to anything and swing. So it's a lot more realistic. You need to be near either a tree or a light post or a building to actually be able to swing. And but there's plenty of skyscrapers and stuff like that, so it's never an issue. It's fast, like you can pick up some pretty damn good speed while you're swinging, and there's lots of buttons to learn. It's actually pretty complex, especially when you're fighting and you're throwing out gadgets, and whether you're using little drones to help you out, or if you're using webbing that basically shoots out like a blast and sends enemies flying, dodging, grappling, like just lots of different things to keep you engaged in combat and to keep it feeling fresh, with different enemies having different moves that you've got to sort of learn and adapt to how to take them down specifically. So gameplay is pretty damn amazing. There you go, amazing Spider-Man. Duh. So it's pretty damn good when you're actually playing as Spider-Man. My only gripe is there is some missions where you're using Mary Jane, and there's stealth missions, and personally I hate stealth missions, but I feel like even without that bit, like without like taking my own opinion out of it, I still don't think they're well done stealth missions. They just sort of feel like they're there to break up the pacing. But if anything, they're just there to be annoying, because like you play them and you're just like, hurry the hell up, I want to get back to playing as Spider-Man. The only purpose they serve is a narrative purpose. But I feel like I would have just preferred to watch a cutscene than have to do any of that crap. And I think a lot of people agree that those missions were not that good. So they should have just sort of been scrapped to begin with, because they're not that fun. So that's my only major gripe with the game. But other than that, the gameplay is fantastic. Sound is amazing. Music's great. Voice acting is surprisingly really well. They've got a great cast of characters in there. And they've also got some really well-known voice actors in there as well. Laura Bailey's in there. Patton Oswalt. That dude, he's in the latest Independence Day movie. I'm not sure his name, but he plays Mr. Negative. He's really good. The guy who does Peter Parker and Spider-Man's voice is really good. Like, he sounds like he would be Spider-Man, you know, if you've been watching the movies and stuff like that. Like, he fits into that character really well. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of good facial expressions and stuff while they're on screen, so it actually adds to it. So moving on, damn, we're already up to the awesomeness category. So, you know, graphics, fantastic. Gameplay, Mary Jane missions suck, but everything else is amazing. I platinum the game, and I rarely do that. Like, I think I've got like 6 platinums, and I just wanted to keep playing. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to find all the collectibles. There's so many collectibles, so many suits to buy and upgrade, so many things to level up, and gaining a level just feels great because it's not a big giant grind. You sort of feel that progression naturally coming as you're playing through the game, and it's very satisfying. And I really think that this is a game that people will stick with and want to actually play after the story credits roll. So if you're looking for a good easy platinum, this is definitely one of them, and it's a lot of fun doing it. So for the awesomeness section, I would just say that we've had good movie tie-ins and, you know, licensed products like the Batman Arkham games and stuff. And Spider-Man games have been pretty good, but they've never been like amazing or spectacular. And I'm just dropping all the words that they, you know, use to describe Spider-Man. But I feel like this is probably the best Spider-Man game that we've had. I think the one that I loved the most before this was the one on the PS2, Spider-Man 2, and probably Spider-Man on the PS1. Those were standout games. But, you know, they're always known for the same thing, like having fun, swinging around. But this one's got great mission design, and it doesn't feel like a chore to do them. And the story just really helps you get through that game and feel like a nice progression. So awesomeness, it's great because you can play that game with any suit that you unlock, and it shows up in the cutscenes and everything. It's just amazing attention to detail. You know, just even like jumping down onto the ground floor and just walking around and like waving to citizens and then swinging back up across buildings. It's just great. It's got a great photo mode as well. A lot of people on Instagram have been posting them, and you know, they're always fun to muck around with. So yeah, I think it's just a really well done game. If you see my scores below, which will be under this video if you're on our website, or you can check out our Instagram page, which I have the scores up on there, you'll see that I pretty much only faulted it just for those Mary Jane missions. But other than that, it's pretty damn amazing. Like, I've said amazing 100 times, but it is. It's not quite a masterpiece. But it's one of those games that you'll play and love from start to finish. So thanks for listening, guys, and I hope you like the footage, and definitely check this game out because it's one to actually play, and it's a spectacular, amazing, wonderful, marvelous PS4 exclusive. So poor people on Xbox, they didn't get this one. So thanks for listening, guys. Check out our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, website, www.gamebug.com.au. Instagram is GamebugAU. Same with our YouTube, GamebugAU. Just search those up. And yes, Facebook as well. Look us up on there. Like, subscribe, tag, do everything. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.